The Songbirds' Ascent. In the heart of a bustling city, where the neon lights pierced the night and the sound of traffic hummed like a symphony, lived a young street musician named Eli. He had known the streets like the back of his hand for as long as he could remember. For as long as anyone could remember, really. The city was a stage, and Eli was its lone actor, pouring his heart into his music on street corners, in subway stations, and sometimes, even in the shadow of towering skyscrapers. His music was his lifeline, and the streets were his audience. The birth of a dream. Eli's story began on a chilly autumn evening when he was just a child. He stood outside a coffee shop with his mother, watching a guitarist strum his way through a soulful ballad. The music seeped into Eli's bones, and he was spellbound. His mother, who had always known that her son was destined for something great, turned to him with a smile. "You see, Eli, that's what passion looks like. One day, you'll find something that moves your soul just like that." From that moment on, music became Eli's obsession. He begged his mother for a guitar, and after much saving and sacrifice, she managed to buy him a modest acoustic. Eli's fingers found their way to the strings, and his heart connected with the instrument as though they had been destined to meet. As Eli grew, his music did too. He practiced day and night, his fingers blistered, his hands calloused, and his voice evolving into something pure and powerful. But he didn't keep his music locked away in his room. Instead, he carried it out into the world, taking to the streets to perform for anyone who would listen. His first days of busking were not glamorous. He played his guitar on street corners, his case open for passers-by to toss a coin or two. Sometimes they did, and sometimes they simply walked past, indifferent to the sounds of a young boy pouring his soul into his music. Eli's resolve was unwavering, though. He knew that every note, every strum, and every lyric was a step on his path to greatness. Eli quickly learned that the city streets had their own rhythm and their own stories. He played in parks and subways, where commuters rushed by with their heads down, seemingly oblivious to the world around them. He played in the heart of the city, where tourists marveled at the towering skyscrapers and the people who filled the streets. And he played on quiet, forgotten corners, where the homeless found solace in the haunting beauty of his melodies. Through it all, Eli kept playing. He sang of love, heartbreak, hope, and despair. He painted pictures with his words and melodies, inviting listeners into his world. With each passing day, his crowds grew. Strangers became familiar faces, and familiar faces became friends. He was creating a symphony of his own on the city streets. A glimpse of stardom. One fateful evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the city, a man in a sharp suit approached Eli as he played near a busy intersection. The man's name was Richard Hartman, a talent scout for a record label. He had been walking home after a long day at the office when he heard Eli's music, and something stirred inside him. Richard introduced himself and offered Eli a business card. "I represent a record label," he said. "I think you have something special, something unique. How would you like to take your music to the next level?" Eli couldn't believe his luck. It was as if the universe had conspired to make his dreams come true. He met with Richard, signed a contract, and was soon whisked away from the streets and into a recording studio. He was on the cusp of stardom. Eli's life changed dramatically. He was no longer a street musician, he was now a recording artist. His first single, City of Dreams, hit the airwaves, and it seemed like everyone was singing along. His face graced magazine covers, and he performed on late-night talk shows. The world was at his feet, and he was on the cusp of becoming a household name. But with fame came the trappings of success. The pressures of the industry weighed heavily on Eli. He found himself pushed in directions he didn't want to go, singing songs he didn't believe in, and living a life that felt foreign to him. The city that had once been his stage now felt like a prison, and he longed for the freedom and authenticity of the streets. Eli made a difficult decision. He walked away from the glitz and glamour of the music industry, leaving behind the fame and fortune that had come so quickly. He returned to the city streets, to the very corners where he had once buskied for coins. It was a bittersweet homecoming, and he knew that he was starting over. But Eli had tasted success, and he had learned valuable lessons along the way. He now had the experience, the wisdom, and a deeper connection to his music. He no longer played for coins, he played for the love of it, for the people who had supported him from the beginning, and for himself. The Comeback Kid. Eli's return to the streets was met with open arms. His old fans were thrilled to see him again, and new ones quickly gathered. He played with a newfound passion, singing songs that resonated with the soul. His music was raw, unfiltered, and true to himself. It was a reminder of why he had started this journey in the first place. Eli's comeback was a story that spread like wildfire. The media dubbed him the Comeback Kid, and his story inspired countless others to follow their dreams, to stay true to their passions, and to never forget where they came from. Eli continued to make music, both on the streets and in small, intimate venues. He released albums that were acclaimed for their authenticity and emotional depth. He collaborated with fellow artists who shared his vision, and he used his platform to support causes he believed in. His music had the power to heal, to unite, and to inspire. He had found his place in the world, and he was content with the legacy he was building. It wasn't about the fame or the fortune, it was about the music, the connection, and the journey. Eli's story was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the power of following one's passion. From the humble beginnings of a street musician to the heights of fame and back to the streets again, he had discovered that success was not measured by external recognition, but by the joy and fulfillment of pursuing one's true calling. His life had been a beautiful melody, filled with highs and lows, but through it all, he had soared like a songbird, embracing the challenges and celebrating the triumphs. His story was an inspiration to all who heard it, a reminder that dreams were worth chasing, and that the journey was as important as the destination. Eli's song continued to echo through the city streets, a reminder that dreams were alive and well, waiting for anyone with the courage to reach for them. And so, the Songbird's ascent soared higher and higher, an enduring testament to the power of music, passion, and the unwavering spirit of a young boy who had once played his heart out on a street corner. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Please hit the like button if you like this video, and hit the subscribe button to learn English through watching these kinds of interesting stories daily. Please click on the screen on any video showing on your screen to watch it next. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video till the end.